GM paired a perfectly good engine with the wrong transmission, and owners are paying $12,000 for that mistake. I've torn apart every powertrain combo they sell. 3 are at war with themselves. 4 will outlast the frame, the body, and your patience for oil changes. The worst part? You won't catch it on a test drive. The one combo everyone recommends? Number 1 on my worst list. Let's start there. Worst number 1, 5.3-liter AFM plus 8L 98-speed, 2015 to 2019. This combo has made more mechanics rich than any other powertrain in GMC history. The 5.3-liter V8 with active fuel management, the 8L 98-speed transmission, GM's flagship setup for half a decade, and it's a ticking time bomb with 2 fuses. Fuse number 1, the AFM system. It deactivates 4 cylinders under light load to save fuel. The lifters that control it collapse, tick, and eventually destroy the camshaft. That's a $3,500 to $6,000 repair. Fuse number 2, the 8L90 torque converter. The clutch material breaks down, contaminates the fluid, and causes violent shaking between 30 and 50 miles per hour. Another $1,800 to $3,000. 2 separate problems. Expensive on their own. But here's what nobody talks about. They make each other worse. The 8L90 is programmed to keep RPMs low. That forces the engine into 4-cylinder mode more often. More AFM cycles means faster lifter wear. And while the lifters are struggling through those transitions, the transmission is trying to lock the torque converter at the same time. The 2 systems are literally fighting each other on every drive. I talked to an owner who replaced his lifters at 80,000 miles, $5,000. Then his torque converter went at 95,000, another $3,000. Then the lifters failed again at 115,000, 3 major repairs and 35,000 miles. He sold the truck at a loss just to stop the bleeding. That's not bad luck. That's a design flaw on repeat. And the worst part? GM knew. They issued technical service bulletin after technical service bulletin. They updated the lifter design. They revised the transmission fluid spec, but they never addressed the fundamental problem. These 2 systems shouldn't be in the same truck together. If you're shopping 2015 to 2019 Sierra or Yukon and it has this combo, walk. Unless the previous owner already deleted AFM and replaced the converter with documentation. No receipt, no deal. And if the price looks too good to be true on one of these, it's because someone else already did the math on the repair bills and decided to pass the problem to you. But this next one might actually be worse, because at least with the 5.3, you know what you're getting into. This one blindsides you. Worst number 2, 2.7-liter turbo plus 8-speed, 2019 to 2021. GM sold this as the future. A turbocharged 4-cylinder with V8 power and 4-cylinder fuel economy. Owners paid full price to be GM's beta testers. Most of them didn't know it at the time. The 2.7-liter turbo has real problems on its own. High-pressure fuel pump failures, carbon buildup on intake valves, boost leaks from the turbocharger. Each one is $1,000+ repair. The 8-speed paired with it has calibration issues, harsh shifts, gear hunting, delayed engagement from a stop. But the real disaster is the mismatch between them. A turbo engine makes peak torque low in the rev range. That's the whole point. But the transmission shifts before the turbo is fully spooled. Then, it panic downshifts when you need power and the turbo surges. The result is a truck that lurches, hesitates, and never feels like it knows what gear it wants. And here's the part that should make you angry. The constant spool-up, spool-down cycle kills the turbo bearings faster. A turbo replacement runs $2,000 to $3,000. Add a fuel pump failure at $1,500 to $2,200. You're looking at $5,000 before 80,000 miles on a truck that was supposed to save you money on gas. Speaking of gas, the fuel economy promise? Broken. The transmission is hunting so often and the turbo is cycling so hard that most owners report numbers no better than the 5.3-liter V8. Some report worse. Think about that for a second. You bought a complicated turbo 4-cylinder specifically to save money on fuel. You're now paying turbo repair bills, fuel pump repair bills, and getting the same miles per gallon as the simple V8 you could have bought instead. That's not a bad deal. That's a scam with a warranty. Now, GM fixed most of this in 2022. New calibration, updated fuel pump, much better integration. The 2022 Plus version actually delivers. But the 2019 to 2021? Stay away. This next one surprised me the most because it's the Powertrain that's supposed to be GM's best. Worst number 3. 6.2 liters plus 10 liters 80-10 speed, 2019 to 2021. You'd think after the 8L90 torque converter disaster, GM would have learned. They didn't. The 6.2-liter V8 making 420 horsepower. The 10-speed transmission co-developed with Ford. This is a $60,000 plus Denali. Premium truck, premium price, and the same torque converter problem all over again. Different transmission, different converter design. Same result. Clutch material degrades, contaminates the fluid, shuddering between 30 and 50 miles per hour. Owners paying Denali money, getting base model reliability. But here's what makes this one particularly infuriating. The 6.2-liter engine is actually excellent. Powerful, refined, sounds great. The engine was never the problem. The 10-speed was. 10 gears means the computer is constantly searching for the perfect ratio. Under light throttle, it hunts, never settles. That constant shifting accelerates clutch wear and torque converter degradation. The hardware can't keep up with the software's indecision. GM's response? Software updates, lots of them. One update fixed the shudder but created harsh shifts. The next smoothed the shifts but brought back the shudder. Owners became beta testers for calibration experiments they didn't sign up for. Imagine spending $65,000 on a Denali and then making 4 trips to the dealer in 1 year because GM is using your truck to debug their software. That's the 2019 to 2021 ownership experience. The shudder usually appears between 20 and 60,000 miles. Repair costs $1,800 to $3,000 at a dealer. And here's the kicker. The replacement converter is the same design. Multiple owners have had the shudder return 30,000 miles after the repair. They're not fixing the problem, they're resetting the clock. GM finally got it right in 2022. Revised converter, rewritten calibration. The complaints dropped off a cliff. But 2019 to 2021. If you're test driving one, cruise between 30 and 50 at light throttle. If you feel anything, any vibration, any shudder, that truck is telling you to leave, now. Those are the 3 combos that'll drain your wallet. Every single one has the same problem. An engine and a transmission that should never have been put together. GM built great components and then sabotaged them with bad matchmaking. But they've also built combos that are the exact opposite, where everything clicks. Let's talk about the Powertrains that'll drain your odometer instead. You just saw 3 Powertrain combos that have cost owners thousands. The 4 best ones are next. Number 3 is the diesel that changes everything. But first, if you're shopping for a GMC right now, and this is saving you from an expensive mistake, subscribe. I break down Powertrains like this every week, so you don't have to learn the hard way. Best number 1, 6.0-liter Vortec plus 6L90, 2009 to 2013. After everything we just covered, AFM lifter failures, torque, converter shudder, transmission calibration nightmares, this combo is going to feel like a vacation. The 6.0-liter Vortec VIF-8 paired with the 6L906 speed. No active fuel management, no cylinder deactivation, no lifters waiting to destroy themselves. Just a simple, proven V8 making 360 horsepower and 380 pound-feet of torque. The 6L90 is the heavy-duty version of the 6L80, stronger internals, beefier clutch packs. It was designed to handle diesel torque, so the 6.0-liter gas engine is basically a day off for this transmission. Massive safety margins everywhere. And here's the key difference from every combo on the worst list. These two were calibrated together from day one. The shift points match the torque curve. The converter locks up without fighting the engine. No mismatch, no components working against each other, just harmony. Fleet managers figured this out years ago. These trucks get bought, worked hard, and run until the body falls apart. I talked to a fleet operator in Texas running 12 of these Sierra 2000s and 500s. His oldest one has 430,000 miles. Original engine, original transmission. His total powertrain repair cost across all 12 trucks over 8 years? Zero. Not low. Zero. Oil changes, transmission fluid services, and that's it. These trucks just refuse to quit. I've personally seen examples with over 450,000 miles on the original engine and transmission. The maintenance schedule is almost insulting in its simplicity. Oil changes and fluid drain and fills every 50,000 miles. No special procedures. No dealer-only services. Any shop with a lift can keep this powertrain alive. The problem? Finding one. Owners don't sell these trucks. They keep them until the frame rusts away. When a clean one does pop up, expect to pay a premium. A 2012 Sierra 2500 with the 6.0 liter and low miles commands more than some trucks 5 years newer. And it's worth every penny because the powertrain will still be running when everything around it has given up. If you need a workhorse that'll outlast your mortgage, this is the one. But if you want something easier to find and almost as reliable, the next combo is the sweet spot. Best number 2. 5.3 liters plus 6L80. 2007 to 2013 pre-AFM. Remember the 5.3 liter from the worst list? The one with AFM destroying lifters? Take away AFM and you've got one of the most reliable powertrains GM has ever made. The 2007 to 2013 5.3 liter engines either don't have active fuel management at all or have a version that can be disabled with no consequences. Without AFM eating the lifters, this is just a simple pushrod V8 that does its job and shuts up about it. 310 to 320 horsepower. Not exciting, doesn't need to be. The 6L86 speed is equally solid, GM's first modern 6-speed automatic, and they got it right. Strong planetary gear sets, durable clutch packs, a torque converter that doesn't shudder. Imagine that. This is the transmission the 8L90 wished it was. Together, they're boring in the best possible way. Smooth shifts, predictable behavior, zero drama. The two components were developed together, and it shows. No fighting, no confusion, no $5,000 surprises at 80,000 miles. Oil changes every 5,000 miles. Transmission service every 60,000. That's the entire maintenance schedule for a powertrain that routinely hits 250,000 to 300,000 miles. Some owners have gone well beyond that, on nothing but basics. I know a guy running a 2009 Sierra 1500 as his daily driver with 280,000 miles. He's never opened the engine or the transmission. His biggest repair in 15 years was a water pump. $80 in parts. And here's the practical advantage over the 6.0 liter. Parts are dirt cheap and everywhere. Any mechanic with a wrench and a scan tool can work on this powertrain. No dealer-only diagnostics, no specialized equipment, no $1,000 an hour technician required. You can order parts from any auto parts store in America and have them on your doorstep by tomorrow. Try that with a turbo 4-cylinder. Millions of these are on the road. The ones that have been maintained are still going strong. If you want a daily driver or a tow vehicle that won't complicate your life, this is the answer. Now, for the diesel buyers who want the best modern technology can offer, this next one is special. Best number 3, 6.6 liter Duramax, L5P plus Allison 10-speed, 2020 plus. This is the one I'd put my own money on. The best diesel powertrain GM has ever built, and it's not close. The 6.6 liter Duramax L5P makes 445 horsepower and 910 pound-feet of torque. Factory. No tune needed. That's enough to tow 35,000 pounds while your passengers don't even know they're towing. The power delivery is smooth, linear, and instant. None of the turbo lag that gave older diesels that awkward pause when you hit the gas. But power without reliability is just an expensive headache. Ask anyone on the worst list. The L5P delivers both. The previous generation Duramax, the LM, L used a Bosch CP 4.2 fuel pump that was essentially a self-destruct button. American diesel fuel has lower lubricity than European fuel. The CP 4.2 wasn't designed for it. When it fails, it sends metal shavings through the entire fuel system. $10,000 to $15,000 repair. Catastrophic. The L5P replaced it with a Denso HP4 injection pump. More robust, tolerant of American fuel. 5 years of real-world data now, and the failure rate is a fraction of the CP 4.2. That single change eliminated the most expensive failure mode in modern diesel trucks. The Allison 10-speed is the other half of this equation. And this is important. It's not the 10L80 from the half-ton trucks, not a modified version, not a shared platform. It's a completely different transmission purpose-built for diesel torque. The internals are heavier. The calibration is optimized for 30,000-pound loads. This is a working transmission, not a passenger car unit pressed into service. The calibration between these two is where the magic happens. Remember every worst list combo struggling with mismatch? This is the opposite. Shifts are smooth, well-timed, and decisive. The transmission finds the right gear and stays there. No hunting, no second guessing. The engine and transmission communicate like they were raised together because they were. Yes, it's expensive. $65,000 to start, 80 plus fully loaded. But let me put that in perspective. A worst list combo costs you the truck price plus $10,000 to $15,000 in repairs over the first 100,000 miles. This combo cost you the truck price plus oil and filters. Over 500,000 miles, the L5P owner spends less total than the owner who bought a cheaper truck and got eaten alive by repair bills. The most expensive powertrain you can buy is actually the cheapest one to own. That's the math nobody does at the dealership. If you can afford the entry price, this is the diesel to buy. Nothing else in the segment comes close. But what if you want gas power without diesel money? GM actually has an answer now. They just needed 3 years to get it right. Best number 4, 6.2 liters plus 10L80, 2022 plus. Yeah, the same combo from the worst list. Different year, different result, different truck entirely. In 2022, GM finally fixed what should have been right from the start. Revised torque converter with improved clutch material, completely rewritten transmission calibration. The shift quality issues that plagued the first 3 years, largely gone. 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque, smooth, decisive shifts from all 10 gears, a torque converter that locks up clean. This is the Powertrain, the 6.2-liter deserved all along. GM just made everyone wait for it. The difference is night and day. The 2019 to 2021 forums are full of Shudder complaints, dealer frustrations, and repair bills. The 2022 plus forums? Owners talking about fuel economy and tow ratings. That's what happens when the engineering finally matches the marketing. This is now legitimately one of the best gas powertrains in a full-size truck. The 6.2-liter competes with Ford's 7.3-liter Godzilla for towing confidence and outperforms the Ram 5.7-liter Hemi in both power and refinement. And unlike the turbo competitors, there's no boost lag, no complex plumbing, and no turbo replacement hanging over your head at 100,000 miles. It's a naturally aspirated V8 with 10 gears. Simple formula. Took GM 3 years to execute it properly, but now that they have, it's hard to argue against it. One critical warning: the model year is everything. A 2021 and a 2022 look almost identical on a dealer lot. Same body, same interior, same badge, but underneath, they're different trucks. Don't let a salesman tell you a 2021 is basically the same. It's not. The 2022 has the revised converter and calibration. The 2021 doesn't. That difference is worth thousands in avoided repairs. Check the build date on the door jamb. If it says 2021 or earlier, keep looking. The right truck is worth waiting for. 3 worst, 4 best, 7 combos that'll either cost you everything or run forever. The pattern is clear. The engine matters, the transmission matters. But how they work together, that's what separates a 400,000-mile truck from a $12,000 repair bill. A great engine paired with the wrong transmission is worse than a mediocre engine paired with the right one. Every single combo on the worst list proves it, and every combo on the best list proves the opposite. That when GM takes the time to match components properly, they build some of the best powertrains on the road. The tragedy is that most buyers never check. They look at horsepower, they look at tow ratings, they look at the badge on the tailgate. Nobody asks how the engine and transmission talk to each other. Now you know to ask, and that knowledge is worth more than anything else in this video. If you're keeping your GMC and want it to last, watch this video next. It's the maintenance routine that adds 200,000 miles to your powertrain. And if you're shopping for a diesel specifically, I did a full breakdown of the 3 worst and 4 best GMC diesel engines. Links on screen. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.